Blunt Talk with LT, episode 19. This episode is brought to you by StackGwop.com. StackGwop.com/shop. Shop and get your new merch. Support the brand, SGE, Stack Gwop. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Stack Gwop. Subscribe to Blunt Talk with LT on Anchor, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Radio Public, wherever you listen to podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast from. Subscribe. Not on SoundCloud though. We ain't with the SoundCloud. We ain't on that. All right, so we have like a couple episodes on SoundCloud, but we ain't on SoundCloud like that. So basically, before I get into the main topic of the video, I want to cover the whole Kevin Hart shit and him withdrawing from the Oscars, them wanting him to apologize for 8-year-old tweets, 7-year-old tweets. And a lot of people on Twitter went and digged up a lot of other celebrities' tweets. Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, to name a few. A bunch of comedians that said very inappropriate things and used a lot of, derogatory terms towards the LGBT community. Pretty much saying fag in all the tweets, and they don't want that term to be used at all. So they were all jokes, all the tweets were jokes. My personal opinion, all the tweets were fair game. They were all appropriate. They were all jokes, including Kevin Hart's. So I don't understand why people are apologizing for jokes. I don't understand this sudden urge for this trash-ass censorship. Everyone wants to be pussy. How old are those tweets? Did I tweet that shit yesterday and I have to apologize? Even if you tweeted that shit yesterday and it was a joke, why are you apologizing? It's a joke. You can't make a joke. You're a comedian. The fuck we doing out here? Who is to say I can't make a joke on which platform because you can't take a joke? Man, kick rocks with that bullshit. Fuck out of here. I ain't playing that. Well, what's the point of apologizing? The Oscars said either apologize or you won't be able to host a show. And he didn't want to apologize for that reason, because he's like, you're not going to make me do that to host a show. So he withdrew from the show, but then he went on to apologize later. I wouldn't have apologized. Why apologize later? Because anyone felt hurt? Fuck that. If you felt hurt, then you're too pussy for this shit, man. Like, I'm tired of this shit. What are we all coddling everyone's fucking feelings if it's a fucking joke? There's more important things going on in life than a 7-year-old tweet. From a tweet from 7 years old. Like, why? Why is that important? Who cares? You can literally pull up a tweet from anybody that hosts the fucking Oscars that is derogatory or taken the wrong way or whatever the fuck it is, and they host before, or the future hosts they're gonna have some shit, or they're gonna have to delete their tweets. Nobody's fucking perfect. Nobody has a life where they haven't done anything fucking wrong or anything that's looked wrong upon. So what the fuck? What are we doing out here? The fuck are we doing out here? I feel like it sets a bad standard for anybody. Well, not for anybody, just for Kevin Hart moving forward. Shouldn't have apologized for this shit, because nobody has to live by the standard that he sets for that. I ain't gonna live by that. I ain't apologizing for shit. Certain people, I feel like, I don't know why rappers want to act like they're above the mold and they're innocent angels when it comes to certain things, when it comes to speech things and freedom of speech. And, you shouldn't have said that. You should, you're a rapper, man. Look at all the shit you say in your songs. You expect people to understand that it's just fucking music. So it's comedy. It's just, it's their form of art. Like, I don't understand. Why is that so difficult to grasp an understanding of this is a fucking joke? this is intended to be this way. If you took it the wrong way, then you're clearly not intelligent enough to understand that this is a joke. Even if you don't understand the joke, or even if you don't find the joke funny, you could still see that this is a comedian making a joke. And why do you care so much? Why does it hurt your feelings so fucking much? I don't understand it. Does it hurt your feelings this much when creditors are calling your phone and your bills are late? Because that's more important than the motherfucker talking shit. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers, these guys, they're living life wrong. They're focusing on the wrong things. I think a lot of people are bored, so they're just social justice for boredom. A lot of this Twitter shit shouldn't be taken seriously because a lot of it's a bunch of stupid little kids. Like, fuck your stupid opinion. All right, so basically the main headline or the main focal point of this podcast episode was basically starting your own podcast. Why you should start your own podcast. What it can do for you. Can you make money off of podcasting? What is the future of podcasting? Why is it important? Do I have all these answers? Probably not, but I'm going to speak on it. I feel like the way how technology is moving, TV has been outsourced for the internet. Everyone's watching everything on the internet, whether it be Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, YouTube, whatever the fuck people are watching shit on. Things move and everybody moves with the times. Everybody has their own Instagram. Everyone has their own Snapchat. Everybody has their own Facebook, Twitter, whatever. But there comes a time where the major celebrity, or even the average celebrity, the D-list, C-list celebrity, wants to kind of differentiate themselves, have a bigger voice, have a different type of platform that the generic iPhone buyer, Android buyer has with their fucking Instagram. They want to deviate from that. Have a different type of platform, a platform they can make money off of and be seen on a different light. And that's kind of what podcasting is taking form in. When you see people like Joe Rogan making crazy amounts of money off of podcasting, you see Joe Budden, you see the brilliant idiot Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz, you see a bevy of different people doing different types. The reason why I named those 3 individuals, because they're all doing podcasting in a different way and they're all getting a bag a different way. And they're kind of setting their platform up so they can say whatever the fuck they want. They can be the voice of the culture or the voice of whatever. It kind of elevates your level of influence having your own podcast. A lot of celebrities have podcasts. They're not as big as others, but they still have their voice. They still have their following. They still have their level of communication that separates them from being a regular Joe on Twitter or on Instagram, which everybody in the world has access to. Not everybody in the world, but, pretty much everybody has a fucking phone and everybody has their own profile and their own shit. A lot of fake celebrities, a lot of Instagram celebrities that don't really have money, don't have any way of... Well, there is a lot of Instagram girls that are making a lot of money off Instagram, but there's a lot of dudes on Twitter and a lot of people that have followers that don't make any money off of it. They're famous within a following for no reason. They should have definitely started a podcast. They definitely still can start a podcast, especially if they see this video, or listen to the audio. Regardless, there's so many reasons why people should start a podcast and to put on for your area. There's a lot of areas and a lot of cities that there's no voice and there's no representation, and we don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers is thinking generally, because tweets are not enough. Tweets are too anonymous, too much fucking fake profiles, too many kids on. We don't know who the fuck is who. We don't know the quality of content that is being taken off of Twitter generally. So if more people in more cities and more areas started podcasts, whether it be hip-hop, sports, life, general, anything podcasts, then there will be more voice and more connectivity to ideas in long form, because a tweet can only be so long. They extended it, but it could only be so long. An Instagram video can only be so long. Vlogs are always been a good way to do things, but vlogs are chopped up to bits. It's not the same thing as a long form setting podcast where you're having a continuous conversation flowing for whether it be a solo 30 minutes or a conversation with an individual for an hour, two individuals for 2 hours, 3 hours, however so long the conversation takes to get the content out. The content is still digested in a better form, in a more expressive form where you actually get your point across in the way you want to get it across, opposed to a tweet where everything is just taken the wrong way. All right. So that's pretty much my why the fuck you should start a podcast. If you're a person, an artist, a public speaker, a public figure, as they like to put it on their Instagram profiles, a comedian, an actor, trying to raise your profile, anything in the arts, pretty much, I feel like you should start a podcast. And even if you're a fucking scientist or a doctor or whatever, and you want to start a podcast, go ahead. Why not? If you have the means to start a podcast, start a podcast. There's plenty of ways to make money off of podcasts, and I kind of got into some sponsors recently, but there's been some hiccups with the sponsors because I am out of the U.S. I am currently in Toronto. I'm in Canada. So a lot of the sponsors that I got in contact with were running ad campaigns for the American side of, their brands. So there's a little bit of hiccup with my ads currently. So as soon as it started, as soon as it stopped, but minor speed bumps. We'll get over this. We'll find new ads, and shortly they'll get through their whole hiccup of US to Canada shit, and the ads that I currently have will continue to work for me. It's not like it completely stopped, but it's kind of just going through a little break until they figure out shit. So I currently have ads on certain episodes on Apple Podcasts and Google and Spotify or whatever, but this episode most likely won't have any ads. Don't have to deal with me saying all these bullshit ads. Well, they're not bullshit ads, but you don't have to go through me saying, a minute or 2 minutes of speech. I get right to the point for these episodes. No offense to the ads, but, people want to get to the meat and potatoes sometimes. All right, so the Deontay Wilder fight. I didn't talk about it yet, the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. And too many people have been saying that Tyson Fury got robbed. And to me, that's it's very disrespectful to Deontay Wilder to say that Tyson Fury got robbed from that fight, because all you really have to do is pick 3 rounds and debate them that Deontay Wilder won, because those 2 knockouts automatically give him a 10-8 score on the score sheet. You debate 3 rounds, you give Deontay Wilder 3 rounds, and I could debate 3 rounds right now. Like, if you look into the fight, round 1, it was kind of stagnant. Not much was taking place. I think people were more surprised that Tyson Fury landed a couple of good ones, so they kind of gave it to him. But really and truly, that could have went either way. You could have given round 1 to anybody. Round 2, Deontay Wilder won that round. Watch that fight again. Deontay Wilder won round 2. And anywhere from, you could pick a fucking round and just lean for it and be like, okay, yeah, you could definitely give it a draw. I feel like the judge that gave it a draw seemed to fight the best. Bravo to that fucking judge. That fight was a draw, because Tyson Fury did outbox Deontay Wilder. But when you're Deontay Wilder and you land those effective punches, and you're the person that's kind of controlling the ring throughout the majority of the fight, and you knock the motherfucker down twice and you haven't been knocked down, yeah, you definitely deserve a draw at least out of that. You can't lose a fight where you knock a motherfucker straight cold in the 12th round and the count was longer. People want to bullshit and be like the count wasn't long. He was down for more than 10. So they extended that count. They said, oh, he was gauging it because you go with the ref. Yeah, the ref gave him extra time to get a hold of himself. That's why when he came out boxing at the end of the round, he was still doing good. And he kind of edged him towards the end of the round. But you still lose the round 10-8. You got knocked down. My major thing is great fight. I want to see the rematch. If they do the rematch sooner than later, it's not good for Tyson Fury. He just got knocked down twice. He got his bell rocked. Deontay Wilder is a machine. He's a cardio machine. He's been very active. He can put on a couple more pounds, so he put a little more strength behind those blows. He'll take him out real quick. I don't think it's good for Tyson Fury to take the rematch right quick because Deontay Wilder will knock him out. Anthony Joshua is avoiding both of them, but they don't really need Anthony Joshua currently to make the bag because Tyson Fury donated his entire purse to charity, $10 million or so, in anticipation that the rematch will make him a lot more money. And you can't really blame him. You kind of know the rematch will make a lot more money. I don't know the pay-per-view numbers of this one, but you definitely know the rematch is going to make more money. So they set it up perfect to be a rematch. Though the judge that seen Wilder winning with that wild card was kind of crazy. I think he was giving him more points than he deserved for his aggression. But judges see this shit wild all the time. That's why there needs to be more than 3 judges. For MMA and boxing, there needs to be more than 3 judges. 3 judges is absolutely ridiculous when you take it in. Especially for MMA. You need more eyes on that shit. Because too many times, there shouldn't really be draws. A fight like this that was this close, yeah, you get it, but generally, I don't really want to see draws. Like that Canelo Triple G draw that first time, And the second time, it was controversial that they gave it to Canelo, but I thought Canelo got the second one. I don't know. Meek Mill on CNN. Meek Mill's been doing his media tour. I think Meek Mill's he's a changed person. The growth in Meek Mill and the acceptance and the accountability on certain things and the realization and the understanding that Meek Mill has is great. Meek Mill's in a great place. He squashed his beef with Drake, clearly. That's been old. That's been squashed from time. They've been making bets. They're in a cool space, making records. The music's been better for Meek Mill since he's been in this space. I haven't really listened to the new album too much, but from what I'm hearing, it's a really good album. I got to get into it. I got to throw that shit on my playlist. I don't know what's going on with Meek Drake and Nicki, though. Drake and Nicki allegedly unfollowed each other. I don't know what's going on with that. Who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of Nicki boyfriend rumors popping up that her new boyfriend that's in her life was a abuser, a sexual assault felon in the past, and all sorts of shit's been popping up on Twitter, Facebook and shit. And then people are acting like they shouldn't be surprised because Nicki Minaj has a brother who's in jail currently for sexual assault, and she stood behind her brother and paid court things. But the thing is, people don't really know the insides of these situations. People don't know anything about these situations in any of these cases. So to place judgment on it and think that she's a bad person and she just doesn't give a fuck about people getting raped and sexual assaulted, I'm pretty sure that she's worried about her own security at the end of the day. She's not just out here just, trying to get beaten up and raped by niggas and shit. I don't think she's, I don't think she's trying to fear for her own life like that or trying to put any of her people and her assistants in harm's way like that. So I'm pretty sure that it's just the media and social media just running with shit and making a big story out of nothing. And then once you speak on it as a celebrity, you just look crazy. Generally you look crazy speaking on it because you put more spotlight to the whole situation, and it's not a good look for you. So yeah. Yikes. Yo, when you try to put in your fingerprint and your phone rejects you, that's just the worst. That's awful. It's like when you go to a ATM, or not an ATM, a store or whatever, and they tell you there's no tap and you got to type in your PIN number. Like, who wants to do that shit? That's how I feel like when my phone fails me. Trying to pull up a topic and boom, fail. Stapled. Who wants to see that shit? Fuck. No one's trying to type in that shit the long ways. You got to be out of your motherfucking mind. These phones are tripping. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this episode. What else do we got here? Oh, should I even share the sponsors? Yeah, I should share the sponsors because people were interested in what the fuck the sponsors were. So the sponsors is an app, the Infatuation app. It's for food, roadside assistance for food, pretty much. You're trying to find something to eat. You're hungry as fuck. You don't want to Google a place. You pop up this app. You hit their number. You text them. They hit you with a good spot to eat some food. That's pretty much what the shit is. But it's just in the States right now. It's in major cities in the States. It's not in Canada. So that's where the hiccup is currently. But we're gonna get that fixed and get that shit wrapped up. I had a segment that I was supposed to keep consistent, and I will. So if you are listening to this on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, any of the audio streams, not the YouTube, I have 2 sleeper songs from Toronto that I'm about to play in the 6 tracks section of the podcast. So we got 2 songs we gonna play and we out. That's it for this episode. This is episode 19, stackgwop.com. Blunt Talk with LT, episode 19. Catch episode 20 around the corner. stackgwop.com.